So I just got out of the shower and I was journaling about overthinking and how, the way I used to overthink so much in my life. And I don't really do that anymore. And this video isn't going to be some cure-all on like how to never overthink ever again, some scammy bullshit like that. But I want to give you I guess you can call it like tools and kind of an approach to the moments where you are overthinking. You will be able to deal with it quite a bit better. You will be able to come at it from almost like a third point of view, like looking at yourself overthink and be able to like self-analyze and just be more self-aware about your overthinking. And so let's just go right in, right? Overthinking generally, when it's not in the present moment, because in the present moment when you're overthinking, like what to order or what kind of car to get, that's just like indecisiveness, right? That's pretty much what that is. But when you're overthinking about like life, like some kind of breakup you had years ago, or like something, a test coming up in the future, something coming up in the future, notice you're overthinking about the past or the future. It's one or the other. The problem is that you are not being present. The problem is your presence, your ability to live in the present moment. And there's a lot of different ways you can work on that by like meditating, journaling, and you can even read, actually I'd recommend The Power of Now. That's a good book on that. But I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to teach you the moments where you are overthinking about, let's say, the past. Understanding that what's meant to happen is going to happen, right? So if something happened in the past, there was likely a reason for it. At least this is my approach, right? I truly believe, and I'm not religious like at all. It's just I truly believe in the universe or God, whatever you believe in. Everything's meant to happen for a reason. And I choose to believe this because what's the alternative, right? I could have this pessimistic point of view that like, oh no, things just happen because of like bad luck or it's, you're in control of like everything. And like, I just don't vibe with like that kind of belief system because I don't think it benefits you. It doesn't work in your favor. And I do believe in like simple placebo effects. Like, if you think about the red car theory, the more red cars you think, like if you think about a red car, you will see more red cars. That's pretty much what it is. If you intentionally make the choice to view life in a very optimistic way, you will just naturally have a better and enjoyable life because that's how you're seeing it, right? You put on like the glasses that way and life will just be brighter, more colorful. And so I choose to live that way. And that allows me to understand like, okay, this thing in the past happened for a reason. What can I learn from it? What lesson can I take away so that I can do better in the future? Because that is really, really important. If you're not going to take things from the past to learn from them and better yourself in the future, you're probably going to feel more regretful about it, right? Because these things happen in the past and you make the same mistakes and you don't learn from them and you just trip over and you're overthinking like, God, why am I living life like this way? It's because these things are happening and they're trying to teach you things and you're not taking the lesson. You have to really sit yourself down and be real as fuck and just say, all right, what did I do wrong? If you sit down every night and just like pull out your journal, get a pen or a pencil and really sit down and think like, all right, what can I do better? It doesn't have to be this tone of like, oh, I'm fucking up everything. Why am I doing everything wrong? It's more just like, all right, I want to do better in my life. I want to live a happier and healthier life. What can I do better? And if you approach it like that, I think you'll feel so much less regretful because you'll understand like things happen, I'm improving. Things happen, I'm improving. And that's a great feeling, all right? So that's kind of like the past, right? And we can take a similar approach to overthinking about the future. If you're stressed out about like a test coming up, for example, this test coming up, the first thing I would ask yourself, especially with things in the future, is this in my control or not? For example, if there was some event where you park your car and all of a sudden you see someone else like hit your car and you weren't even there, that was out of your control, right? There's like, sure, I guess you could have parked somewhere else, but like for the most part, that was like completely out of your control, right? There was pretty much nothing you could do about this person hitting your car. So how would you approach that situation? You could overthink, you're like, oh shit, oh, I got insurance to pay, I got the bills to pay, da da da. That's not going to benefit you in the present moment. You're not being present because you're overthinking about the things going on in the future, right? Breathe into it and think, all right, in this moment, I got to do my best here. I got to focus up and figure out how to solve what just happened, even though it was out of my control. I'm not going to get pissed at myself because there was nothing I could do, but I'm going to approach this the best way that I can so that it gets handled properly. And I appreciate in the future, my future self will appreciate that I was present in dealing with it from a very stoic place. If you haven't read into Stoicism, I highly recommend you do. I'm still kind of getting into Stoicism, but I really like this. I don't know, it's kind of like a way of living, I guess you could call it. So that's things that are out of your control. But what about things that are in your control? For example, a test coming up in school. If you have some kind of test coming up in school and you think to yourself, fuck, like, I don't know if I'm going to do well on this test. Like, the information's weird. This is in your control. You have the ability to feel confident about this test. For things that are in your control, you will feel more confident in yourself, in your ability to deal with that situation, the more work you put in. For example, a school test coming up. You are probably stressed about this test because you haven't studied that much. You have not put that much work into doing well on the test and preparing for it. But if you do, and you put the work in, and you build the reputation with yourself as someone that has studied this material, someone that has put the hours in into understanding each and every question and aspect of a biology or physics exam coming up, you will feel more confident in it. It's just like getting really good at a video game and becoming competent in that topic, that area of life. So if something is in your control, you will feel more confident and not overthink as much if you put the work in. And as we talked about with the past, everything happening for a reason, it's the same thing with the future. You need to have faith that if you put your best foot forward, you live life with no regrets by giving your 100% and being in the present moment, that everything will happen for a reason and it's going to work out how it should. You got to have that faith, because what's the alternative? You're just going to be miserable for the rest of your life. Everything's not going to work out for you because, I was fucked from the beginning. Like, that's so lame, bro. I don't like those people, and no one wants to be around those people. So I know this was a much shorter video from me, but I just wanted to talk about overthinking because I know a lot of people struggle with this. And I feel like I have a really good approach to the moments that I do overthink, and it's worked very well for me. And really, I want to emphasize the importance of being present, okay? Because this is going to be this is going to be so powerful for you to be able to enjoy your life, and it's the best gift you can give to other people. If you think about, like, if you have dogs and you come home, these dogs want love and affection from you, right? They're going to just like follow you around. They're going to jump up on you. If you just take a moment to be present with them for like 1 minute and just pet them and love them and talk to your dog, they'll probably feel comfortable and just go lay down and pretty much leave you alone right after you do that. This happens to me with my dogs. But if you just ignore them and, don't give them any kind of presence, they're going to keep following you until you give them that love. So same thing happens with kids, right? And so when I thought about it like that, I was like, okay, being present is really the best gift you can give. Best gift you can give to other people. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say right now, but like, being present really is the best gift, especially when it comes to like relationships with other people. If you've ever been at a dinner table and your friend is just on their phone, like, it doesn't feel good, and you're just like, you go on your phone because your friend's on your phone and you guys aren't really talking, and you're just like, fuck, like, what are we doing here? Like, why am I hanging out with this person if we're just going to be on our phones? Like, being present is just, other people are going to notice and they're going to appreciate you for it, and you feel like a much more competent, well-rounded, and kind person when you're more present, okay? And you're not going to live your life with much regret when you are present and you give your best in everything that you do. So I really hope this helped you, bro. And if you want help with any kind of overthinking, dating advice, like self-improvement stuff, hit me up on Instagram. It's in the description. And I have one more quote for you because I heard this, and this was more recent actually. But live fast, don't wait. When it comes to making decisions in your life and you're kind of overthinking like important things, weigh how much the decision matters. Like, if you can live with, I don't know, for example, like if you have to choose a car, like a car is kind of important, right? It costs quite a bit of money. Weigh that decision. Like, that's kind of an important decision. Spend some time thinking about that. But if you're thinking about like, what am I going to have for lunch? That's not really that important of a decision. You shouldn't spend that much time thinking about that. And I used to have this problem where like I would overthink the shit out of, for example, like some text I was going to send to a girl. I'd legit think like 20, 30 minutes by the message. That was a waste of my time. Like 20, 30 minutes did not need to be contributed to that one text. That probably didn't even matter because I ended up getting ghosted. Or if I did end up getting the text, I could have just sent like a much simpler thing and she would have still responded to me. So like, don't overthink simple things that don't weigh very much in your life. put time and energy into the things that do weigh quite a bit. And that was huge for me to understand. But the motto, live fast, don't wait. The people that take action constantly in their life and consistently, those are the guys that usually end up like building the most wealth in their life and having the most experiences and like living a life of enjoyment, because they're not spending time overthinking and waiting to do something. Like I spent a lot of time waiting before I'd start this YouTube channel, when really like I wanted to do YouTube from such a young age. I was making graphic design videos and Minecraft videos and CSGO YouTube montages when I was like 13, 14, even I think at 12 and 11 I was doing that shit. And I loved doing it. I don't know why it took so long to start, but yeah, I'm really glad that I did. So yeah, bro, live fast, don't wait. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot of value out of it. And let's fucking get it, man.